Okay, so chapter 2. I got some water and let's keep going. My heart is pounding. The elevator arrives on the first floor, and I scramble out as soon as the doors slide open, stumbling once, but fortunately not sprawling on the immaculate sandstone floor. I race for the wide glass doors, and I'm free at the bracing, cleansing, damp air of Seattle. Raising my face, I welcome to the cool, refreshing rain. I close my eyes and I take a deep, purifying breath, trying to recover what's left of my equilibrium. Do girls usually have an equilibrium? Jen, do you have an equilibrium? Does any girl listening to this have an equilibrium? If you're a dude and you're listening to this, do you have an equilibrium? Do girls only have an equilibrium? We'll never know. Stay tuned to the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. No man has ever affected me in the way Christian Grey has, and I cannot fathom why. Is it his looks? His civility? Wealth? Power? I don't understand my irrational reaction. I breathe an enormous sigh of relief. What in heaven's name was that all about? Leaning against one of his steel pillars of the building, I valiantly attempt to calm down and gather my thoughts. I shake my head. Holy crap, what was that? My heart steadies to its regular rhythm, and I can breathe normally again. I'm so bored. Where am I? I head for the car. As I leave the city limits behind, I begin to feel foolish and embarrassed as I replay the interview in my mind. Surely I'm overreacting to something that's imaginary. Okay, so he's very attractive, confident, commanding, at ease with himself, but on the flip side, he's arrogant, and for all his impeccable manners, he's autocratic and cold. Well, on the surface. An involuntary shiver runs down my spine. He may be arrogant, but he has a right to be. He's accomplished so much at such a young age. He doesn't suffer fools gladly. But why should he? Again, I'm irritated that Kate didn't give me a brief biography. While cruising along the I-5, my mind continues to wander. I'm truly perplexed as to what makes someone so driven to succeed. Some of his answers were so cryptic, as if he had an agenda. He's trying to fuck you. And Kate's questions. The adoption. Asking if he was gay. She wants the dick. I shudder. I can't believe I said that. Ground, swallow me up now. Ugh. Every time I think of that question in the future, I will cringe with embarrassment. Damn Catherine Kavana. Okay, so I know that if I'm ever write a book, I'm not gonna write it like this. I check the speedometer. I'm driving more cautiously than I would on any other occasion. And I know it's memory of two penetrating gray eyes gazing at me. She likes to be penetrated. And a stern voice telling me to drive carefully. Shaking my head, I realize I graze more like a man double his age. Forget it, Anna, I scold myself. I decide that all in all, it's been a very interesting experience, but I shouldn't dwell on it. Put it behind you. I never have to see him again. I'm immediately cheered by the thought. I switch to an MP3 player and turn the volume up, loud. Sit back and listen to the thumping indie rock music as I press down on the accelerator. What a fucking millennial. Indie rock music. As I hit the I-5, I realize I can drive as fast as I want. We live in a small community of duplex apartments in Vancouver, Washington. Is Vancouver in... Hold on. I'm looking this up. Give me a minute. Vancouver, Washington. Feel free to grab a snack or something. Vancouver, Washington. Son of a bitch, that's an actual place. They stole our name. Bastards. We live in a small community of duplex apartments in Vancouver, Washington, close to the Vancouver campus at WSU. I'm lucky. Kate's parents bought the place for her, and I pay peanuts for rent. I'm home for 4 years now. He's been home for 4 years now. As I pull up aside, I see Kate is going to want a blow-by-blow account. Okay. I can see what she's hinting at. And she is tenacious. Well, at least she has the mini disc, right? Hopefully, I won't have to elaborate much beyond what was said during the interview. Anna, you're back. Kate sits in our living area, surrounded by books. She's clearly been studying for finals, though she's still in her pink flannel pajamas, decorated with cute little rabbits. Oh my god, who cares? The one. Let me just finish. I just want to finish. The one she reserves for the aftermath of breaking up with boyfriends or assorted illnesses and for general moody depression. She bounds up to me and hugs me hard. Did you fucking heart? I was beginning to worry. I expected you back sooner, and I thought I made good time considering the interview ran over. I waved the mini disc recorder. I waved the mini disc recorder at her. Anna, thank you so much for doing this. I owe you. I know. How was it? How was he like? Oh no, here we go. The Catherine Kavanagh Inquisition. I struggled to answer her question. What can I say? I'm glad it's over, and I don't have to see him again. He was rather intimidating, you know. I shrugged. He's very focused, intense even, and young. Really young. Kate gazes innocently at me. I frown at her. Stop me if I sound too invested into this story. I really don't care. Don't you look so innocent? Why didn't you give me a biography? He made me feel like such an idiot for skimping on basic research. Kate clamps a hand into her mouth. Geez, Anna, I'm sorry. I didn't think. I huff. Mostly he was courteous, formal, slightly stuffy. He's like he's old before his time. He doesn't talk like a man of 20-something. How old is he anyway? 27. Geez, Anna, I'm sorry. I should have briefed you, but I was in such a panic. Let me have the mini disc, and I'll start transcribing the interview. You look better. Did you eat your soup? I asked, keen to change the subject. Yes, and it was quite delicious, as usual. Nobody talks like that. It was quite delicious. Oh, hello there. I am Kate, and yes, it was delicious, as usual. I'm feeling much better. She smiles at me in gratitude. I check my watch. I have to run. I can still make my shift at Clayton's. Anna, you'll be exhausted. I'll be fine. I'll see you later. That's my poor British, if you couldn't tell. I've worked at Clayton since I was started at WSU. It's the largest independent hardware store in Portland area, and over the 4 years I've worked here. Okay, hold on. I've come to know a little bit about most everything. What the? Although ironically, I'm crap at any DIY. I'll leave all that to my dad. I am much more of a curl up with a book and a comfy chair by the fire kind of girl. Oh, that's me. I'm a curl up with a book and a comfy chair by the fire kind of girl. I'm glad I can make my shift as it gives me something to focus on that it isn't Christian Grey. We're busy. It's the start of summer season and folks are redecorating their homes. Mrs. Clayton is pleased to see me. I'm so done. Anna, I thought you weren't going to make it today. Somebody opened my door. Great. They've been listening to what I've been saying. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so just went to go eat some cereal, I guess, because what the hell else am I gonna do? Okay, let's get back into it. Anna, I thought you weren't going to make it today. My appointment didn't take as long as I thought. I can do a couple of hours. I'm real pleased to see you. She sends me to the storeroom to start restocking shelves, and I'm soon absorbed in the task. When I arrive home later, Catherine is wearing headphones and working on her laptop. Her nose is still pink, but she has her teeth in a story, so she's concentrating and typing furiously. I'm thoroughly drained, exhausted by the long drive, the grueling interview, and by the being rushed off my feet at Clayton's. I slump onto the couch, thinking about the essay I have to finish and all the studying I haven't done today because I was holed up with him. You've got some good stuff here, Anna. Well done. I can't believe you didn't take him up on his offer to show you around. He obviously wanted to spend more time with you. She gives me a fleeting quizzical look. I flush and my heart rate inexplicably increases. This is gonna take so long before it gets good. That wasn't the reason, surely. Surely? He was just wanted to show me around so I could see that he was lord of all he surveyed. I realize I'm biting my lip, and I hope Kate doesn't notice, but she seems absorbed in her transcription. I hear you mean about formal. Did you take any notes? She asks. No, I didn't. That's fine. I can still make a fine article with this. Shame we don't have some original stills. Good-looking son of a bitch, isn't he? I flush. Good-looking son of a bitch. Damn straight. Sure, whatever. I suppose so. I try hard to sound disinterested, and I think I succeed. Oh, come on, Anna. Even you can't be immune to his looks. She arches a perfect eyebrow at me. Like a frickin' parabola. Crap, I distracted her with flattery. Always a good ploy. You probably would have got a lot more out of him. I doubt that, Anna. Come on. He practically offered you a job. Given I foisted this on you at the last minute, you did very well. She glances up at me speculatively. I make a hasty retreat into the kitchen. So what do you think of him? Damn, she's inquisitive. Why can't you just let this go? Think of something quick. He's driven, controlling, arrogant, scary really, but very charismatic. That's what a psychopath does. I can understand the fascination, I add truthfully as I peer around the door at her, hoping this will shut her up once and for all. You fascinated by a man? That's a first, she snorts. I start gathering the makings of a sandwich so she can't see my face. Oh, it's a girl making a sandwich. Some joke around there. Oh man, it's really. Oh man, Jen, you don't know it, but this is so sad. I'm just in my room reading this. To basically myself. This is so pathetic. Why am I doing this? This better come as a reward or something. Why did you want to know if he was gay? Incidentally, that was the most embarrassing question. I was mortified, and he was pissed to be asked too. I scowl at the memory. Whenever he's in the society pages, he never has a date. It was embarrassing. The whole thing was embarrassing. I'm glad I'll never have to lay eyes on him again. Yeah, okay. We got another couple, 700 chapters to do on this bullshit. You think you'll never see him again? Bullshit! Oh, Anna, it can't be that bad. I think he sounds quite taken with you. Taken with me? Now Kate's being ridiculous. Would you like a sandwich? Please. There's the joke again. I can't make. We talk no more of Christian Grey that evening, much to my relief. Once we've eaten, I'm able to sit at the dining table with Kate, and, while she works on her article, I work on my essay on Tests of the Dubervilles. And maybe is that French? I don't know. Damn, but that woman was on the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong century. By the time I finish, it's midnight, and Kate has long since gone to bed. That's not realistic. I make my way to my room, exhausted, but pleased that I have accomplished so much for a Monday. I curl up in my white iron bed, wrapping my mother's quilt around me, close my eyes, and I'm instantly asleep. That night I dream of dark places, bleak white cold floors, and gray eyes. Is this a wet dream? For the rest of the week, I throw myself into my studies and my job at Clayton's. This is so boring. Kate is too busy, too, compiling her last edition of her student magazine before she has to relinquish it to her new editor while I'm also cramming for her finals. By Wednesday, she's much better, and I no longer have to endure the sight of her pink flannel with too many rabbit PJs. Just goes on and on and on. I call my mom in Georgia to check on her, but also she can. I call my mom in Georgia to check on her, but also she can wish me luck for my final exams. She proceeds to tell me about her latest venture into candle making. My mother is also about new business ventures. Fundamentally, she's bored, and so am I, and wants to have something to occupy her time. But I'm doing this. But she has the attention span of a goldfish. I wish I did too. It'll be something new next week. She worries me. I hope she hasn't mortgaged the house to finance this latest scheme. I hope that Bob, her relatively new but much older husband, is keeping an eye on her now that I'm no longer there. He doesn't seem a lot more grounded than husband number 3. How are things with you, Anna? For a moment, I hesitate, and I have a mom's full attention. I'm fine. Anna, have you met someone? Wow, how did she do that? The excitement in her voice is palpable. No, Mom, it's nothing. You'll be the first to know if I do. Anna, you really need to get out more, honey. You worry me. Mom, I'm fine. How's Bob? As ever, distraction is the best policy. Later that evening, I call Ray, my stepdad. Mom's husband number 2, the man I consider my father, and the man whose name I bear. It's a brief conversation. In fact, it's not so much a conversation as a one-sided series of grunts in response to my gentle coaxing. Ray's not a talker, but he's still alive. He's still watching soccer on TV and going bowling and fly fishing or making furniture when he's not. Ray's a skilled carpenter, and the reason I know the difference between a hawk and a handsaw. All seems well with him. I didn't learn anything from that last sentence. Friday night, Kate and I are debating. Okay, I didn't actually learn anything from that last paragraph, so if I don't understand who Ray is, I'm not going back to find out. Friday night, Kate and I are debating what to do with our evening. We want some time out from our studies, from our work, and from our student newspapers, when the doorbell rings. Standing on our doorstep is my good friend Jose, clutching a bottle of champagne. Jose, great to see you. I would give him a quick hug. Come in. Jose is the first person I met when I arrived at WSU, looking as lost and lonely as I did. We recognized a kindred spirit in each of us that day, and we've been friends ever since. Not only do we share a sense of humor, but we discovered that both Ray and Jose Sr. were in the same army unit together. As a result, our fathers have become firm friends too. Jose is studying engineering, and then the first in his family to make it to college. He's pretty damn bright, but his real passion is photography. Jose has a great eye for a good picture. I have news, he grins, his dark eyes twinkling. Don't tell me, you've managed not to get kicked out for another week? I tease, and he scowls playfully at me. The Portland Place Gallery is going to exhibit my photos next month. This is so boring! That's amazing. Congratulations. Delighted for him, I hug him again. Kate beams at him too. Way to go, Jose. I should put this in the paper. Nothing like last-minute editorial changes on a Friday evening. She grins. Let's celebrate. I want you to come to the opening. Jose looks intently at me. I flush. Both of you, of course, he adds, glancing nervously at Kate. Jose and I are good friends, but I know deep down inside he'd like to be more. Well, he's not. He's cute and funny, but he's just not for me. He's more like a brother I never had. Oh, man. Jose, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We lost another one, sir. My God. Catherine often teases me that I'm missing a need a boyfriend gene, but the truth is, I just haven't met anyone whom I'm attracted to, except this, that son of a bitch this book is about. But the truth, even though part of me belongs for those trembling knees, heart in my mouth, butterflies in my belly, sleepless nights. Oh man, you don't know how many sexual innuendos I can make there. Sometimes I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Perhaps I've spent too long in the company of my literary romantic heroes, and consequently my ideals and expectations are far too high. But in reality, nobody's ever made me feel like that. Till very recently. The unwelcome, still small voice in my subconscious whispers, "No," I banish the thoughts immediately. I am not going there, not after that painful interview. "Are you gay, Mr. Gray?" I wince at the memory. I know I've dreamt about him most nights since then, but that's just to purge the awful experience from my system. Surely, you are probably going to be one of those girls who loves to ship boys and boys, because that's what you girls do, apparently. Blah, 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 blah. I watch Jose open the bottle of champagne. He's tall in his jeans and t-shirt. He's all shoulders and muscle, tan skin, dark hair, and burning dark eyes. Yes, Jose's pretty hot, but I think he's finally getting the message. We're just friends. The cork make girls just never seem to they just never seem to find satisfaction with anything. The cork makes this loud pop, and Jose looks up and smiles. Saturday at the store is a nightmare. We are besieged by do-it-yourselfers wanting to spruce up their homes. Mr. and Mrs. Clayton, John and Patrick, and 2 other part-timers, and I are all rushed off our feet. But there's a lull around lunchtime, and Mrs. Clayton asks me to check on some orders while I'm sitting behind the counter at the till discreetly eating my bagel. I'm engrossed in the task, checking catalog numbers against the items we've ordered. Eyes flickering from the ordered book to the computer screen. This is so boring. Why did anybody write this? And back as I check the entries match. Then for some reason I glance up and I find myself locked in the bold gray gaze of Christian Grey, who's standing at the counter, staring at me intently. Heart failure. Wow. Cool. Miss Steele, what a pleasant surprise. His gaze is unwavering and intense. Holy crap. What the hell is he doing here? Looking all tousled hair and outdoorsy in his cream chunk knit sweater, jeans, and walking boots. I think my mouth has popped open, and I can't look at my brain or my voice. Mr. Grey, I whisper, because that's all I can imagine. There's a ghost of a smile on his lips, and his eyes are alight with humor, as if he's enjoying some private joke. I was in the area, and he says by way of explanation, I need to stock up on a few things. It's a pleasure to see you again, Miss Steele. His voice is warm and husky, like a dark melted chocolate fudge caramel or something. What was that? His voice is warm and husky, like dark chocolate. What? Dark melted chocolate fudge caramel. What the hell is this? What nightmare did I put myself in? I shake my head to gather my wits. My heart is pounding. It's really not. My heart is pounding, a frantic tattoo, and for some reason I'm blushing furiously under his steady scrutiny. I am utterly thrown by the sight of him standing before me. My memories of him did not do him justice. He's not merely good looking, he's the epitome of male beauty, breathtaking, and he's here. Bullshit! Hugh Jackman's the epitome of male beauty. Shut up. Here in Clayton's hardware store. Go figure. Finally, my cognitive functions are restored and reconnected with the rest of my body. Anna, my name's Anna, I mutter. What can I help you with, Mr. Grey? He smiles, and again, it's like he's privy to some big secret. You know, the privy is a toilet in the British slang. The more you know. Dun, 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 dun. It's so disconcerting. Taking a deep breath, I put on my professional, I've worked in this shop for years facade. I can do this. There are a few items I need. To start, I'd like some cable ties, he murmurs, his gray eyes cool but amused. This is funny if you already know the premise. Cable ties? We stock various lengths. Shall I show you? I mutter, my voice soft and wavery. Get a grip, Steele. A slight frown mars Gray's rather lovely brow. I hate this. Please, lead the way, Miss Steele, he says. I try for nonchalance as I come out from behind the counter, but really I'm concentrating hard on not falling over my own feet. My legs are suddenly the consistency of jello. I'm so glad I decided to wear my best jeans this morning. But why? So you do like him. Of course, you're so inconsistent. Then with the electrical goods. Aisle 8. My voice is a little too bright. I glance up at him and regret it almost immediately. Damn, he's handsome. I blush. You know, as a guy, I'm really not being aroused in any way. I know maybe for some women this is their thing. This is making it hard. So if I ruin this book any further, if this is turning you off, at this point, you should stop listening to this and read the book on your own. Otherwise, you're just going to get me reading unenthusiastically a book of this nature. So, well, you can turn back. Ready? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If you're still here and you still want me to go through this hell, okay. I head down on the aisles to the electrical section. Oh, fuck, where is it? I blush. After you, he murmurs, gesturing with his long-fingered, beautifully manicured hand. This guy... She has a hand fetish. with my heart almost strangling me because it's in my throat, trying to escape from my mouth. So I think it's gonna be down your throat. I head down to one of the aisles in the electrical section. Why is he in Portland? Why is he here at Clayton's? And from a very tiny underused part of my brain, probably located at the base of my medulla oblongata. Why? From a very tiny underused part of my brain, probably located at the base of my medulla oblongata, where my subconscious dwells, comes the thought. He's here to see you. No way, I dismiss it immediately. Why would this beautiful, powerful, urbane man want to see me? The idea is preposterous, and I kick it out of my head. Is this how every girl thinks? Or is this just like some really shitty writing? Are you in Portland on business? I ask, and my voice is too high, like I've got my finger trapped in a door or something. Damn, try to be cool, Anna. I was visiting the WSU Farming Division. It's based at Vancouver. I'm currently funding some research there on crop rotation and soil science. Wow, I am enjoying this so much. He says matter-of-factly, see, not here to find you at all. My subconscious sneers at me, loud, proud, and pouty. I flush out my foolish, wayward thoughts. All part of your feed the world plan, I tease. Something like that, he acknowledges, and his lips quirk up in a half smile. He gazes at the section of cable ties, and we stock at Clayton's. What on earth is he going to do with those? I cannot picture him as a do-it-yourselfer at all. His fingernail trail crossed the various packages displayed, and for some inexplicable reason, I have to look away. He bends and selects a packet. These will do, he says, and with so secret smile. And I blush. Is there anything else? I'd like some masking tape. Masking tape? Are you redecorating? The words are out of before I can stop them. Surely he hires laborers or has staff to help him decorate? This is so boring. Am I that funny? No, shit. No, not redecorating, he says. He says quickly, then smirks. And I have an uncanny feeling that he's laughing at me. Am I that funny? Funny looking? This way, I murmur, embarrassed. Masking tape is in the decorating aisle. I glance behind me as he follows. Have you worked here long? His voice is low, and he's gazing at me, gray eyes concentrating hard. I blush even more brightly. Why the hell does he have this effect on me? I feel like I'm 14 years old. Gosh. Is this how you spell gosh? Gauche? Okay, I'll look that up. Wait. Okay, I'll look it up later. As always, and out of place. Okay, so she just referenced herself to being like 14 years old, so I do not know how I feel about this. Eyes front still. 4 years, I mutter as we reach our goal. To distract myself, I reach down and select 2 widths of masking tape that we stock. I'll take that one, Grace says softly, pointing to the whiter tape, which I pass to him. Our fingers brush very briefly, and the current is there again, zapping through me like a touched and exposed wire. Oh man, I just watched The Flash. Flash. Bleh. Flash. Ah. Da 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 da. I gasp involuntarily as I feel it, all the way down to somewhere dark and unexplored, deep in my belly. Okay, I don't like... If there's a word that I don't like in the English language, it's belly. Desperate, I scramble around my equilibrium. Anything else? My voice is husky and... I'm not going to do it. His eyes widen slightly. Some rope, I think? His voice mirrors mine. Husky. This way. I duck my head down to hide my recurring blush and head for the aisle. If anybody who is living today saw this, they would clearly, point this out as either a murderer or a beat person. That's what I would think. Whether you're fixing a house, you're a murderer, or you like this sort of shit. What sort were you after? Oh, fuck. This way, I duck my head down to have a recurring blush and head for the aisle. What sort of were you after? We have synthetic and natural filament rope. Twine, cable cord. I halt at his expression, his eyes darkening. Holy cow. She likes that word. Just say, you're not a real person. I'll take 5 yards of natural filament rope, please. Quickly in my trembling fingers, I measure out 5 yards against the fixed ruler, aware that his hot, gray gaze is on me. I dare not look at him. Jesus, could I feel any more self-conscious? I'm struggling. I'm struggling so hard. Taking my Stanley knife from the back pocket of my jeans, I cut it, then coil it neatly before typing in a slip knot. By some miracle, I managed to remove a finger with my knife. I managed not to remove a finger with my knife. I want to cut you. Were you a Girl Scout? He asked, sculptured, sensual lips curled in amusement. Don't look at his mouth. Oh man, why would you ever want to do that? Organized group activities aren't really my thing, Mr. Gray. He arches a brow. What is your thing? Asked Andrew. It's called a vagina. He asks, his voice soft, and his secret smile is back. I gaze at him, unable to express myself. I am on shifting tectonic plates. Try and be cool, Anna. My tortured subconscious begs and bend a knee. Books, I whisper. Okay. Just watch that part in the trailer, the one that's like, she was watched like John Oliver. Books, I whisper, but inside my subconscious is screaming, you are my thing. I thought your subconscious was trying to be like good. I slap it down instantly, mortified that my psyche is having ideas above its station. What kind of books? What kind of books? He cocks. He cooks. You're a cook. I bet he's a cook. What kind of books? He cocks his head to one side. Why is he so interested? Oh, you know, the usual, the classics, British literature mainly. He rubs his chin with his long index finger and thumb as he contemplates my answer. Perhaps he's just very bored and trying to hide it. Anything else you need? I have to get off this subject. Those fingers on that face are so beguiling. She just wants to get finger banged. I don't know. What else would you recommend? What would I recommend? I don't even know what you're doing. For a do-it-yourselfer? He nods, gray eyes alive with wicked humor. I flush, and my eyes stray of their own, accord to his snug jeans, looking at his cock. Coveralls, I reply, and I know I'm no longer screening what's coming out of my mouth. He raises an eyebrow, amused yet again. You wouldn't want to ruin your clothing. I gesture vaguely in the direction of his jeans. I could always take them off. He smirks. Wants to show me your cock. I feel the color of my cheeks rise again. It must be the color of the Communist Manifesto. What the hell? This is so garbage! Stop talking now. Please! I want to. I'd prefer to. I'll try some coveralls. Heaven forbid I should ruin any clothing, he says dryly. I'll try and dismiss the unwelcome image of him without jeans. Probably got like a, I don't know, 10-inch dick. I don't know what girls want anymore. It's just, I don't care. Do you need anything else? I squeak as I hand him the blue overalls. He ignores my inquiry. How's the article coming along? He's finally asking me a normal question away from all the innuendo and the confusing double talk. A question I can answer. I grasp it tightly with two hands as if I were a life raft. And I go for honesty. I'm not writing it. Catherine is. Miss Kavanagh, my roommate, she's the writer. She's very happy with it. She's the editor of the magazine, and she was devastated that she couldn't do the interview in person. I feel like I've come up for air. At last, a normal topic of conversation. Her only concern is that she doesn't have any original photographs of you. Gray raises an eyebrow. What sort of photographs does she want? Okay, I hadn't factored in this response. I shake my head because I just don't know. Well, I'm around tomorrow, perhaps. He trails off. You'd be willing to attend a photo shoot? My voice is squeaky again. Kate will be in seventh heaven if I can pull this off. And you might see him again tomorrow. Okay, sorry, I had to see if I read that right. That dark place at the base of my brain whispers seductively at me. I dismiss the thought of all silly, ridiculous. Kate will be delighted if we can find a photographer. I'm so pleased. I smile at him broadly. His lips part like he's taking a sharp intake of breath, and he blinks. For a fraction of a second, he looks lost somehow, and the earth shifts slightly on its axis, the tectonic plates sliding into a new position. I'm so... Oh my, Christian Grey's lost look. Wow, I am so tired already from this book. Let's get to the banging. Let me know about tomorrow. Reaching into his back pocket, he pulls out his wallet, my card. It has my cell number on it. You'll need to call before 10 in the morning. Okay. I grin up at him. Kate is going to be thrilled. Anna! Paul has materialized at the other end of the hall. He is Mr. Clayton's youngest brother. I heard he was home from Princeton, but I wasn't expecting to see him today. Excuse me for a moment, Mr. Gray. Gray frowns as they turn away from him. Paul has always been a buddy, and in this strange moment that I'm having with the rich, powerful, and awesomely off this guy. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. I'm having off the scale, attractive control freak Gray. It's great to talk to someone who's normal. Paul hugs me hard, taking me by surprise. Anna, hi, it's good to see you. I like all these secondary characters. They're the best. They don't have I'm gonna cry. He gushes. Hello, Paul. Hello, Paul. How are you? You home for your brother's birthday? Yep, you're looking well, Anna. Really well. He grins as he examines me at arm's length. Then he releases me, but keeps a possessive arm draped over my shoulder. I shuffle from foot to foot, embarrassed. It's good to see you, Paul. He's always been over familiar. When I glance up at Christian Grey, he's watching us like a hawk. His gray eyes hooded and speculative, his mouth a hard, impassive line. He's changed from weirdly attentive customer to someone else, someone cold and distant. Paul, I'm a customer. I'm with a customer, someone you should meet. I say, trying to diffuse the antagonism I see in Gray's eyes. I drag Paul over to meet him. They weigh each other up. The atmosphere is suddenly arctic. Paul, this is Christian Grey. Mr. Grey, this is Paul Clayton. His brother owns the place, and for some irrational reason, I feel I have to explain a bit more. I've known Paul ever since I worked here, though we don't see each other that often. He's back in Princeton, where he's studying business administration. I'm babbling. Stop now. Mr. Clayton, Christian Grey holds up his hand out. He looks unreadable. Mr. Grey, Paul returns his handshake. Wait up. Not the Christian Grey of Grey Enterprises Holdings. Paul goes from surly to awestruck in less than a nanosecond. Grey gives him a polite smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Wow, is there anything I can get you? Anastasia has it covered, Mr. Clayton. She's been very attentive. His expression is impassive, but his words, it's like he's saying something else entirely. He's saying, I want to fuck you in the asshole. It's baffling. Very. Cool, Paul responds. Catch you later, Anna. Sure, Paul. I watch him disappear toward the stockroom. Anything else, Mr. Grey? Just these items. His tone is clipped and cool. Damn, have I offended him? Taking a deep breath, I turn and head for the till. What is his problem? I ring up the rope, coveralls, masking tape, and cable ties at the till. That will be $43, please. I glance up at Grey, and I wish I hadn't. He's watching me closely. His gray eyes I am going to hate every time I have to say gray. His gray eyes intense and smoky. It's unnerving. Would you like a bag? I ask as I take his credit card. Please, Anastasia. His tongue caresses my name, and my heart once again, it's frantic. I can hardly breathe. This is not how girls think. I swear to God, if it is, I'm going to be sad. Hurried, I place his purchases in a plastic carrier. You'll call me if you want me. You'll call me if you want me to do a photo shoot. His business all once more. I nod, rendered speechless yet again, and hand back his credit card. Good. Until tomorrow, perhaps. He turns to leave, then pauses. Oh, and Anastasia. I'm glad Miss Kavanaugh couldn't do the interview. He smiles and strides with a renewed purpose out of the store, slinging his plastic bag over his shoulder, leaving me a quivering mass of raging female hormones. Wow. Do all girls just turn to putty after someone like him would see it? If it is, it makes me want to end the world just that much faster. I spend several minutes staring at the closed door through which he's just left before I return to planet Earth. Okay, I like him. There, I have admitted to myself. I cannot hide from my feelings anymore. I've never felt like this before. I find him attractive, very attractive. But it's a lost cause, I know, and I sigh with bittersweet regret. It was just a coincidence, his coming off here. But still, I can admire him from afar, surely. No harm can come from that. And if I find a photographer, I can do some serious admiring tomorrow. I bite my lip in anticipation and find myself grinning like a schoolgirl. I need to phone Kate and organize a photo shoot. Okay. So basically every chapter is going to be about 40 minutes every day. How many more chapters do I have to read? Page 26 up to 56. Okay, so that was chapter 2. As you can see, he likes the BDSM stuff, and he wants to fuck. Will I have time to finish this? I'll do one more, maybe two more later, because this is drying my mouth out. So Jen, I hope you appreciate this, and if you're still here, well, welcome to my hell.